Okay, I'm here with Ricardo from Jolly Dutch Games. First of all, thank you for doing interview with us.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. No worries.
So first of all, we're going to do the Charted, which is the main highlight of Jolly Dutch Production, the company you work for. But first of all, what kind of games did you brought to this spiel, like the new ones and old ones, and what's the highlight other than Charted, of course?
Right. Yeah, so we've brought a variety of games today. We like to try a nice little mix for different types of people. We brought a lot of card games for people to try because it's a little bit faster, right? You know, you're at Spiel, you want to see different things, right? So, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you get to learn the rules real quick, and then you play. Yeah, I mean, we have a huge variety. We brought Panda if you want to like fill an entire table with cards. We brought Royale if you want to see something new, right? So one of the award winners kind of games. We brought Click if you want to have one of those like kind of dexterity, like you have to, call your card quickly games. We brought a huge variety of them. The biggest board game, though, is, of course, Chartered. You can see a bunch of people behind us playing here, so we got a nice big schedule for that. Yeah, so we brought we try to vary it. And if somebody wants a new game, we'll also just bring it to the table and serve them. That's fine.
Because you're the Dutch company, of course, Chartered building on Amsterdam is like highlight for you.
Yeah.
What's the story behind it, and what was the idea of making a game like this? Because as we can see, it has a lot of like very cardboard components and small buildings. Like I can even imagine that all fits this in one box. So tell us more about the general Uncharted.
Absolutely. Yeah, so we actually started with the first Chartered. It was called Chartered: The Golden Age. It was two of my bosses, my head honchos. They came together and they wanted to actually start a Kickstarter for Chartered: The Golden Age, and it was one of the most successful Dutch Kickstarters for a board game of its time. This was back in 2018, so it was about 6 years ago. So they made that, and that's actually what started Jolly Dutch in the first place. So then they started working on expansion packs, things like that. Nothing really felt right, nothing felt worthwhile. But then at a certain point, they realized we actually made a new game here, right? We actually made something that could kind of stand on its own. So, of course, recently we came out now with Chartered Building Amsterdam, and that's kind of how it evolved. Now, in terms of the pieces, right, which is what you asked about, our company is all about sustainability, as you probably know. The last Charter had plastic pieces, but we wanted to move away from that, so we found a really nice producer who was able to make this whole game out of sustainable, recycled cardboard. And then we found, we worked with them a lot of prototyping to make sure that the cardboard was still strong and structurally powerful. Because you're going to need to stack these buildings on top of each other, right? And it's going to have to be 4 or 5 or 6 tall, so they need to, at least stay in one piece. And if they do kind of fall apart, which doesn't happen often, but sometimes it does, if people are throwing them around or they fall, then you can very easily put them back together, so they just kind of snap back into place.
What is actually Chartered Building Amsterdam? What's the history of the game, and what's the game mechanics, and just a small, quick rule reference about the game?
Sure. So in this game, perhaps if you come here, I can just show a little bit of the board there. You can see that right there. Yeah. You can see that there's a board. There's 4 different boards. These boards are actually modular, so you can kind of move them around from side to side. You build buildings on top of that board that increase the value of the companies that you play. So you're playing with the companies. You can see right down here, there's a little stock chart. And on that stock chart, as you add more buildings, it'll move up in stock price. So that is the core of the game. It is working with these companies, changing these companies. Every time you change the price of a company, you gain the new value of that company, whether it goes up or down. So we had added, for example, a broken roof mechanic, which is when you play a house, you could add like a bad warehouse to somebody else's company, and then they go down in value, and you gain the value from changing it. So it's very cutthroat. It's like old-fashioned capitalism, that sort of sabotage sort of idea. You can merge companies together, which of course do huge payouts. Let's see, there's stock events that happen that kind of shake up things. You can bid for properties. You can buy level ups to your houses. It's kind of warehouse management, the game, but it's a lot of fun actually. You feel like a merchant. So that's kind of the point. Yeah.
That's the Chartered Building Amsterdam. One of their highlights of the Spiel 2024.
Yeah.
So it was a great interview with Ricardo from Jolly Dutch Games. Thank you for agreeing to meet us, and thank you for a quick explanation of Chartered Building Amsterdam and rest of your game. So thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.